All right. Well, welcome everyone. Good evening or late afternoon, depending on what part of the world you are in. This is I guess you could call it either the June monthly coalition and affiliate and advocate call of Move to Amend, or what would it be? The pre solstice Eve edition, since summer solstice is tomorrow. So happy summer solstice for all of you. Greg Coleridge is my name, one of the co-directors, and we will get to all of you, hopefully an opportunity to introduce yourself in terms of being able to share some of the good work and deeds you're involved in. Before we begin, do want to do sort of a icebreaker, and that is for the month, I don't know, it sort of seemed to me, since I know everyone on this call is just so committed and so centered and focusing on trying to do such good, that I wanted to, and it's certainly optional for you to participate, but if you would not mind in the chat to put one word, and that one word would be to describe, I know it may be hard, but if you could boil it down to one single word describing your core value, principle, life mission, purpose. What is it that really drives you to do what you do, whether it's family, community, world large? So feel free to put that single in the chat. Aha, woke. Well done, Sandy. Well, appreciate that, and feel free to continue doing that as we proceed. Those of you who may have come in when we started, we're just asking you to voluntarily, if you care to, share what is a single word to describe your basic essence of what you seek to accomplish, your life purpose, mission, basic core value or principle. What is it that drives you to do what you do and identify you as you are and who you are? So with that, appreciate that. Thank you for sharing and opening up a little about yourself in that very fundamental way. Okay, the call this evening, Alfonso is taking notes. Thank you so much. Alfonso, we open with just an agenda review and participant protocols. The agenda this evening, and I don't know if, let's see, we may have to shift the agenda around a bit. I don't see yet Dole. She is to, oh, there you are, missed you. All right, great. So we don't have to change the agenda around. We will commence with, after the opening, Dolores and Alfonso will tag team talking about the We the People Amendment, a couple of different facets. We then pivot and to you to hear what you are doing, some announcements from Jenny of what is happening in the Move to Amend sort of national sphere. I will share a few suggested summer as of tomorrow, officially actions, as well as educational program and materials. Jenny, as well as our new staff person, Katie, will talk about fundraising and finances. And along the way, prior to that, Katie Krasinski will introduce herself. So looking forward to that. Alfonso will share upcoming events and then confirm next date and time, see if in fact is to be the 18th or if for some reason we need to change. Hopefully not. Okay, before we begin, basically how we work the agenda, as all of you know, a single person will sort of introduce each of these sections, followed by then opportunity for you to make comments, share ideas, concerns, queries, consternations, whatever the case may be. Please be brief, on point, and respectful. And in the interim, when you're not speaking, if there's jackhammer going on or any other obnoxious noise, put yourself on mute. Otherwise, if it's in the background, I think we can live with that. So otherwise, put yourself on mute. Okay, so welcome everyone again, and turn it over to first Dolores to talk about HR 48, where we stand, and then Alfonso to give a first-hand, first-person account of being in DC recently as of last week. Dol and Alfonso.
Hey everyone, I'm Dolores Guernica. I'm a co-director of Move to Amend. Nice to see you all. Thanks for joining us today. I wanted to do, first to say that the We the People Amendment, HR 54, now has 54 co-sponsors. So thank you all for your hard work. And I'm really excited to see those numbers go up, but I'm very satisfied with the same number to the amendment right now. So just a show of hands, have y'all been, actually, let's start this way. How many of y'all's representatives have not co-sponsored yet? Just a little show of hands. Okay. And if you haven't, put their names in the chat, if you can. And the other thing would be, for those who have had them co-sponsor, I want to hear a little bit more about your experience reaching out to them, especially for those, if you haven't reached out, just kind of to have a little peer-to-peer discussion about how it went for you, what advice you'd give to other people who are still reaching out to their representatives. If anyone would like to offer, or show of hands if you have been reaching out?
Margaret Stack?
Yeah, Margaret, go ahead.
So Katie Porter is not my representative, but I've been getting fund appeals for her Senate campaign. So I wrote to her twice and said, gee, I'd love to send you a check, but you need to re-up on We the People. And so apparently this week she did. I don't know if my little notes had any effect, but now I'm going to send her $3.
That's amazing. I love that. Thank you, Margaret. For those who haven't had luck with their representatives, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience, or if you had, I see, trouble reaching out, or them answering? Does anyone want to share with the group?
Well, there's not really too much to share. I just have a representative who doesn't pay attention to his constituents. And years ago, I had a friend and I joined her on a few occasions, but she showed up at his office every Friday, I think, for a month, and never got in to see him, or even I don't think there was any conversation had. Over.
Yeah, so a little bit of issues there. Yeah, definitely. And I see Deb's hand up. Would you like to share?
Yeah, we've been working on Warren Davidson, Republican from Ohio District 8, for some number of years. We were able to talk with his staff and have talked with him spontaneously at things like the Farm Forum. He's a pretty hard sell, but he has done things with Pramila Jayapal, so I'm hoping that we can continue to work on him. And new this year, because of gerrymandering, we have another congressman, and that's Mike Carey. Haven't had any experience with him yet. We're hoping to schedule in-person visits with both representatives in August when they are on recess. Pass.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so yeah, and just a reminder, you all, especially for the ones who have a little difficult of representatives, that we're doing this for the long haul, you know, so just keep at it. Even if there's no success this year, next year might be the year, or the year after that. And this is, you know, the game that we play when we make these reforms, is that we have to think long term. So just thank you all for your work. And I'm here as a resource if anyone needs any suggestions or help, or just someone to talk to and vent to about how much their congressperson sucks. I'm always here for you all. Dolores at Move to Amend. So email me anytime. And I guess I'll pass it to Alfonso, unless anyone has any questions for me about his experience in person.
Oh yeah. Hi. Thanks though. And hi to everyone. It's always nice to share this space with you all. And yeah, to Margaret's point earlier, the collective effort do make a big difference. Every single call, every single letter that they get does make a difference. And yeah, last week on Monday and Tuesday, I had the opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. for a Citizens Climate Lobby conference, but more importantly, to lobby for the We the People Amendment. In total, I visited 47 congressional offices, most of which were previous co-sponsors that had not co-sponsored HR 54 in the 118th Congress due to various reasons, such as changes in their staff. But I targeted mostly these previous co-sponsors, but also some new congressional members that we identified as potential co-sponsors based on their track record. And the strategy was to introduce them to Move to Amend and the We the People Amendment. And throughout my meetings, I had the chance to engage in meaningful conversations with various staff and aides. And I also noticed that engaging with these congressional offices and sharing the message of the We the People Amendment was met with a very positive response. In many cases, I observed that the offices of those previous co-sponsors who had not yet signed on to HR 54 were receptive to our message. The staffers I spoke with appreciated the opportunity to understand. Many of them were new. So after understanding the reasons behind the proposed amendment, they expressed their willingness to tell their respective representatives to reconsider co-sponsoring. And so far, 5 offices have reiterated their support for the We the People Amendment. Adam Schiff from California's 30th District, Ro Khanna from California's 17th District, Juan Vargas, also from California, Katie Porter, and just yesterday, I believe, we heard that Ann Custer from New Hampshire's 2nd District is also going to be joining the ranks of those We the People champions, and soon to make it 55 representatives. Moreover, my interactions with these congressional members were equally promising. And based on their track records, I think that there is a good chance that they might become also new potential co-sponsors. We try to introduce them to the We the People Amendment and try to pique their interest in laying a foundation, a relationship, so that we can further explore the potential of having those new members as co-sponsors. So we're gonna be, of course, doing a follow-up with those offices, with all the offices that we that I spoke with, and we will keep you posted on further development. Lastly, I would like to emphasize the importance of constituent calls influencing those congressional offices. Through all my conversations, it became very evident that constituents calls carry a significant weight in the decision-making process of lawmakers. Every office tallies every call on every subject that they receive from people they represent. And those constituent calls can act as a crucial leverage when engaging with the congressional offices. So I deeply want to thank every one of you that regularly continues to engage with your representative, expressing your support for the We the People Amendment and reinforcing the importance of this issue. Your call certainly made my work much easier when talking to those offices. So I like to think that my lobbying efforts on the Hill were fruitful, and I'll be sharing a link to all the offices, to a document where we have the list of all offices that I met with, as well as I will share a printed version of my report on the notes for this coalition call. But yeah, I'm happy to take any answers or anything.
All right, any questions? Thanks, Alfonso. Very complete report and very successful one. Any questions or comments for Alfonso? You can either put it in chat or raise your hand. Either your real hand or your artificial intelligent hand. Margaret's going to go with her real one. Go ahead, Margaret.
So how are we doing on people that were co-sponsors last time that haven't signed up again? Like, is it half of them, or do we have a number, or?
Yeah, I believe it's like about 38 on the list that I shared. Most of the ones at the top are previous co-sponsors, and there's a handful of new members of Congress there also mixed. But most of them, this is a list, most of which consists of previous co-sponsors that had not co-sponsored yet. So those were the priority this time around. I visited each of those offices, updated their staff contact information. Most of the cases were that the legal chief of staff or whatever was new, and so they hadn't had a chance to read up on this, or a lot of things going on their end. So they were really thankful that I got there, told them about this, and some of them came through. So far we have 5.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. So this list, which the link is under Jenny's name, so I just pulled it up. So there are 47 names on it. So these are the offices you went to, or these are the previous co-sponsors, or both?
Both. Yes.
Okay. And then the name, staff assistant and legislative correspondent for my guy, that's the person I should be trying to get a hold of.
Yeah, that's a person you can contact, definitely. I intended this to just as a recapitulation of the cards. I gathered this amount of this is a amount of business cards I got from the offices.
Okay.
So I was just entering the data into this document so that we can do the follow-up.
Okay, well, thanks. That's very helpful.
I'm glad. I also see Michael Tucker has his hand up.
Yeah, good question. How many people have we gotten that are not previous co-sponsors so far out of the 49, of the 54 that will have or have now? How many are not previous co-sponsors?
So far, none of the new members have co-sponsored,
Oh,
but
okay.
we will be following
So-
up with those offices as
So
well.
100% of those
Jenny
54
Stack.
people are from the previous. Okay, go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah, I can also clarify if you'd like.
Go ahead, Jenny, and then Dolores.
Well, I'll let you go ahead, Dolores.
Yeah, so there have been a few new members who've signed on. I think it's around 5 I'm seeing, 4. That are 5 I see now. I'm like going down my spreadsheet. Who are new members who, so they did not previously co-sponsor, who've now co-sponsored. So I can give you a number of the people who have previously co-sponsored who have not yet co-sponsored. I was just counting down the list who are also not new members. Give me a few seconds to count those and I can give you all a number.
Great. Your emphasis has been on both previous co-sponsors and new members. So those are we think in that order, the lowest hanging, so to speak, lowest hanging fruit. And then the third tier would be anybody who's got the energy to go after their rep, whether they've co-sponsored or new member or not. Go for it. And we're here to help. A couple people came on late. Don't know if you were prompted in wanting to share any successes or challenges you're having in trying to reach out to your rep or reps. Okay.
Jenny Stack.
Oh, go ahead, Jen.
I'm updating in this document how many people have come on since Alfonso's visit to their office.
Cool. Great.
And just,
Okay.
it looks like, sorry,
Go ahead.
it looks like 29. We still have 29 people who had previously co-sponsored who have not yet co-sponsored this round.
Yeah, a good deal of it just has to do with all the nonsense going on in the House, and they're just in over their heads and just trying to respond, react to some of the horrors that are being suggested. So it's just a lot of attention that is diverted to things that they need to attend to, but it's not in the larger scheme of things in the end all that important. But Michael.
So yeah, just to follow up. So it sounds like based on that last number, the 29, that we essentially have, if we get everybody back that previously co-sponsored, plus we have, of course, a few new ones, it sounds like we're at about, that number would be around 85. So I know we want to get to 100 this year. It sounds like we need to get about 15 new co-sponsors that were not previous co-sponsors to hit 100. If I'm doing my math right.
It's about right. Yep. Yep.
Right.
That's about right. So, okay. As they say, change happens slowly, then all at once. So that's kind of how we look at this. It just sort of goes on one step at a time, one call at a time, one visit at a time, and then it happens. So the only other thing to say here that I think was in the agenda is that the month after next is August. That's August recess, when your rep or reps and senators are at home. So that is a wonderful opportunity to try to get with them, assuming they are meeting with people. And as we have done in the past, there will be a webinar of lobby training for people who want to do that. That Dahl will be taking the lead on. So watch for that. We'll get some announcement out, sometime in the early part of July. All right, any last questions or comments? Okay, well, this is a pretty good bridge to sort of keep the good news coming from your end of the spectrum by opening it up beyond what you may be doing regarding lobbying. Any other work activities that you would like to share that you're in the midst of or plan to be doing in the near future? Open it up, stack either by in the chat or raising a hand. Yes, go ahead, Judith.
Apparently, from our Santa Clara County meeting minutes last, that Jenny Spanos had asked for our Trello board information list, master list, and I was wondering if she received that. She's on the call, I think.
Yep,
Or
Jenny.
was.
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic Trello board too.
Okay.
But yes. thank
Trello
you.
is a Trello.
Trello.
Trello, what did they do? Good, excellent.
Okay, I'm not quite sure in what order, so I see Sandy and then Deb and then Margaret. Sandy?
Yeah, this weekend is this huge community festival. It's been going on since the 1970s, and it's arranged, it was about being community oriented and a lot of progressive ideas. So we have a booth there again, every year. And so hopefully, and I'll pass, well, I mean, we'll be talking about Move to Men. But I had a question for you. Somebody mentioned before how they brought a tablet for people to sign on right then and there. In the past, we bring the papers, but last year I gave a bunch of cards with the 3 ways that they could sign on themselves. And I'm not sure how great that did. Might have been done well, might have not been, I'm not sure. But I really like that idea, the notepad. So if anybody has ideas on that, I don't use tablets that much, but I will get one for this if it's a good idea, if it works out. So if anybody has ideas on that and they want to write it in the chat or say it out here, that'd be great. That's it.
Sounds like a great idea. And that is called, what's the name of the parade again?
It's not a parade, it's Comfest.
Oh, Comfest, right.
Yeah, in Columbus, Ohio.
There used to be something
you
down, yeah, didn't there used to be something called the Doodah Parade?
Yeah, there's also the Doodah Parade. We're going to be, I'm in another group, we're going to do something for that, not move to Men, but we always get Move to Men out everywhere we are.
Good, well, Doodah Day, great. Deb?
I just want to let you know that it looks like we've got an endorsement from the Miami County Democratic Women's Group and possibly an endorsement from the Miami County Democrats. And we're going to be looking to see if we can find someone here in the county with a Republican group to do a presentation on the We the People Amendment and ask for an endorsement. So those kind of things are in the works here in Miami County, Ohio. Pass.
Terrific work. Terrific work. Well done, Deb. You may want to put your hand down. Margaret.
Yeah, so a small group of folks from California, we had a Zoom meeting with Senator Padilla's legislative aide and another person, another aide who's I don't know who's going to be our main contact person. Anyway, it seemed like it was well received enough. They wanted to know if we had any Republican co-sponsors, and also wanted to know about endorsements. And I just wanted to bring up that the endorsement information on the webpage is not in a very satisfactory form. So I'm hoping that can be spiffed up, because that was one of their main, that was the 2 main things they wanted to know as far as support. When I told them about how many voters had voted in California and nationwide, that didn't mean anything to them. They sort of said, oh yeah, well, voters, but what about endorsements and Republicans? So just FYI, everybody's, I mean, that's just one senator and his staff, but anyway, but we got our foot in the door. We got to make a presentation and we'll be following up. And we had a previous presentation with some of the staff in San Francisco, and they were really acting like they just couldn't wait to get off the phone and get to lunch or get off the Zoom. So these people were a lot more attentive. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that may go somewhere. We're also hoping you know, now this is why Katie Porter's important, because Katie Porter, Adam Schiff, and Barbara Lee are, and now some other people are all competing for Dianne Feinstein's seat, which will be up in 24. And so now they're all three co-sponsors. So we need to get off, you know, early with them, that you are a co-sponsor in the House and you really need to do it as a senator, need to introduce it as a senator. And then, anyway, we'll see how all that goes. Pass.
Terrific. I see Jeff.
Jenny Stack.
Oh, yeah, response. Jenny. Then I'll go to Jeff.
Margaret, I'm curious. So what were they concerned about with endorsements?
Just
Like-
how many we had and what type. They wanted us to send them something. So, which, you know, we'll send them the link, but it's just, when I looked at it, it was like a spreadsheet, it's hard to,
So here's
Hard to make
some
anything out of.
endorsements, the resolutions passed within California. I don't know if that would have any weight for them.
Is that what you just put in the chat?
Yeah, I just put it in the
Endorsement
chat,
form?
and then I also put the endorsement form, but that also links to, let me see, endorsing orgs, we have over 741 nationally. Do you want that list as well?
Well, isn't that what's on the website?
The link
Yep.
to it. Yep.
It is odd the way it's set up, but
Yeah, no.
also under the California page has all the California endorsements. If they care about, you know, their specific.
I
the
think they were more looking nationally. I mean, I'm sure California matters, but I don't, you know, I'm putting words in their mouth and thoughts in their head, but to go out on a limb purely from a California point of view, I don't think that's in the cards for them.
Okay, so the spreadsheet, you would want that in like a Google Doc, some other type of doc? Would that be helpful?
I don't know what I want. I just don't like it the
Well,
way it is.
Yeah,
But,
we'll talk.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll have a conversation about that.
yeah, we can have a conversation about that, figure out a different kind of format. Because it is sort of awkward to find something. You got to go down to the bottom and take a
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, you
on
have to
what
really
page
want to
we're gonna-
know, you know, it isn't
Yeah,
something,
yeah, right.
not a sales pitch piece.
Right. Okay. Thanks for that feedback and input. Jeff.
Yeah, it was good to hear about the office visits to the US reps who haven't signed on to HJR 54 again. That's going to help us. We've got 2 of our 4 regulars in Minnesota have now signed on. We've done some work on them, but we are working on the other 2, Dean Phillips and Angie Craig from the other end. So it's nice to know that their offices have heard from National too. We'll get them on eventually. The other thing we do, 2 big things during the summer. We're hoping to be able to table intensively at the Minnesota State Fair in the fall, because it looks like we're going to have a union partner to do that with. But before we do that, the other place we put our energy in during the summer is a series of events called Minneapolis Open Streets. It's on a different street that's closed off 1 a month between June and October. We did our first one about 2 weeks ago. And essentially that's a place for us to recruit not only petitions, but from constituents who are in the districts of various Minnesota legislators, because the second year of the biennium next year in 2024 is the one where we have a real opportunity to get our 2 amendment bills through the Minnesota legislature, so we become the next state to petition Congress for an amendment. But the other thing we can do with those, at least for one of the outstanding reps, Dean Phillips, we're most likely to come across his constituents at these Minneapolis Open Streets events, and we can gather cards from them asking him to sign on to HJR 54 again, if it hasn't become a reality by the time we get through those. It's only one chance a month, but we will work at that as well as our own Minnesota legislators.
Well, really terrific
And no
work
bad
and
thing.
yeah, terrific idea and opportunity that you're taking full advantage of. Well done. Anyone else care to share? And I'm trying to scan. Well, I think that is all. Okay, last call. All right. Well, thank you for that. And do appreciate all the good work that you are all doing. So we turn now to announcements. And Jenny, go for it.
Hi, great to see you all. I want to echo Alfonso's sentiment. It's just such an honor to be on this journey with y'all. Really appreciate everything y'all do on the ground in your communities. So, and one of the announcements is we're going to Minnesota, super exciting. They have a 22nd Century initiative going on, and it's to facilitate opposition to the authoritarian movements and ideas that are springing up all over the country. And it looks like it's a great opportunity to connect with, brothers and sisters in the struggle all across the country. We have Daniel's going to be going and Dolores will be going. So that should be really exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing more about how that goes, but should be a great opportunity to build and to see old friends. Movement education program. Of course, this is still being housed on the Radical Guide. We are in the process of creating some more materials for that, a new session. Our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ community are under attack, as we all know. And so we are going to learn more about ways that we can stand in allyship and some of the ways that are springing up all over the country, especially here in Florida, that are attacking. I mean, this place, I'm sorry. Matt Gaetz is my rep, so I don't have to tell y'all why we don't have him on board, right? So anyway, I'm going to move on from that. And, but we do, y'all have already been through this experience, the movement education program. If anything, if you haven't yet, maybe fill out this short form. It's linked in the agenda, and let us know, how, if it has in any way impacted your organizing in ways that it has. If you could share that with us, it'd be a great help moving forward. And then also we have the EcoNet. This is still a relatively new space that's been created where we can share with folks. And I have been amazed and really, just really enlightened by all of the work that's going on. And I see Megan just came in. Some of the work she's doing in California too on the environmental sphere is just phenomenal. And it's a great way to share resources and ideas and information to bring back to our communities and grow from there. And also, Move to Amend offers a piece of the puzzle. And we all know that it's integral to getting anything done, is addressing these corporate constitutional rights and money as free speech. So please come share your knowledge, share your insight, and learn from each other. It's a great space, and it's just been really invigorating. It's become one of my favorite meetings that we have. Also a reminder that National has a second Zoom line if ever y'all are having meetings, and you need more than that 45 minutes if all you have are the free membership. please let us know. That is, you know, we got that for y'all so that you can have that option and that resource at any time. So please reach out and let me know if you need it. No, Deb, if you filled it out once, that's fantastic. I appreciate that. Maybe after the new curriculum comes out and we all do that together, it'd be great. Reminder, please submit monthly affiliate activity reports. Just a bullet list is fine. At the end of the month, you can put that at movetoamend.org, upload it there at /report form. This is ways, you know, that we could see what's going on and for us to be able to share that out. And again, you know, sharing that knowledge, sharing the resources, sharing the information and the work that you're doing helps reverberate throughout the coalition. So it's pretty important stuff. And did I skip anything here? I don't think so. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? I see you might have a question, Margaret. You have that look on your face like you're thinking hard. You're on mute.
You're on mute. You are on mute.
On mute.
Oh, still on mute.
Thank you, sorry. I just clicked on the link for the report form and it took me to the sign-in page for Nation Builder, so that link doesn't go where it says it does. FYI.
Okay. I will check that out. It didn't take you straight to the form, the monthly affiliate form.
No, it doesn't take me there.
But I'm signed in too to my move to Nation Builder, so that could be why.
Oh, do you need to sign in to get to it?
Maybe you do, yeah, because
Okay,
it's an
all right.
internal doc.
Okay.
Sandy.
Sandy, you're on mute.
Yeah, in addition to the tablet, and I'll look and see if there's anything about that. I was looking for different posters. We have signs made up for campaigning, getting our word out there. But I was looking for other signs, more updated signs. And is there a spot on our website? I did look through it. Where we can just pick up some signs and take them to the printer and say, yeah, this is what we want. In the past, we've made up our own and taken, you know, combined it with things that were on the internet and then made up our own and all that. But I'm just wondering if there's a page on our website where we can just pick up a sign and take it to the printer.
What would you like the sign to say?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, you know, that's why I was looking for ideas. I mean, we have plenty of ideas that we throw out there, and I was wondering, are all those together? Because, you know, we get together and we decide how we're going to do it, and then it doesn't get complete. So I was just wondering if there were any that were there, because, you know, it takes some design ideas to get something really cool out there. If it's not there, that's fine. We can make our own. But I just thought it might be something nice to have where we could just find it and get it printed out, change it if we need to for our own areas. But that's okay if not.
Fonzo, I don't know if you wanted to try to respond to that.
Sure, yeah. So unfortunately, we don't have like a template like where you're describing, although it is a great idea. I'm definitely gonna put something together. What we do have are some QR codes that they just take a picture and directs them to either the signing web page or just the general landing page, but definitely gonna explore that idea. Thank you for bringing that up, and maybe by the next coalition call I will have some images together that you can just like you said, print out and use or edit as needed. But yep, thank you for bringing that up.
I mean, other than the flag poster that you've seen with the corporate logos, and I think we may have actually some of these still, you know, over my shoulder.
Margaret Stack?
Jenny Stack.
That might be useful. Okay, I see. Jenny, did you want a direct response?
Yeah, I think Margaret was before me, but on your affiliate support page at the bottom, is some stuff. I did share something in the chat, the poster that Greg has behind him. But yeah, the corporate flags, but there are some other graphics at the bottom of the affiliate support page.
Okay, I've got Margaret, Karen, and I thought I saw Megan's hand.
So,
Margaret?
that might be included in the, whatever Jenny just, in the link Jenny just shared, but the Matt Worker, cartoons used to be on the website. I don't know if they still are, and some of them make good signs. You can print them out, poster size. Pass.
Okay, Karen. You're on mute. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Actually, I plan on sharing the volunteer training that was on Facebook in a number of places. I think that's really good. Our state legislature, the House, passed the Oregon Public Banking. Healthcare for All Oregon just had a big conference, and David Delk, imagine that, was the speaker. I'm glad to hear about Barbara Lee. And on the affiliate activity form, I don't know that anybody has done that. I will bring it up in our meeting tomorrow. And I know we have been looking at street fairs locally, but I've kind of had a number of things going on, so I haven't seen any more on that, so I'll follow up on that. Also today on Thom Hartmann, I was really disappointed because, of course, the corporate personhood and the problems came up, but he never mentioned move to amend, which he usually does because he is a big supporter, and of course I promote it all of the time, as do any educated people. So that's about all for Portland, but I will bring up doing that affiliate form at the end of the month. I see that would be helpful, and ever since COVID, Darla's working from home and has 3 kids, and it does make a difference.
Yeah.
So that's it for me, and good to see you guys.
Well, thanks, Karen. Good to see you. And thanks for the report and all the good work. Megan.
I don't know if any of my comrades made the Sacramento report or not. I had to drop out for a minute because I had a doctor phone call that I had to take. But, we realized that our hard-won representatives that we're celebrating last year getting have all not signed back on. So I've been aware of this and been sending emails, but I think some of the others were not. And if they were, they weren't aware that the number had changed of our resolution. So we had to get that all straightened out. And now everybody's on board and are supposed to send phone calls and emails and try and get some of these people to pay attention and get signed back on. Also, we haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to do tabling, but we have gone to a couple events in the past, and entered that data to the database, but the main thing is that trying to find opportunities for petition gathering is probably one of our goals now, to expand our outreach, and not expect ourselves too thin, and try and get our political allies to help us get these representatives signed back on. One of the suggestions I had about signage and such is maybe we should put it all in one place with logos and banners and, pole clad cartoon work and, everything in one place, so people can go and find downloadable stuff that they can print out and make it easy for people, whatever signage is available to still print out. Because I know I use the logo quite a bit sometimes. So that might be a suggestion, because people have a hard time finding stuff.
Yep, great.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear you. I think that is something that we do need to give some priority to. So thanks for that. Okay, anything else before we move on? All right. Well, thank you all for sharing, reporting, as well as suggesting. Appreciate all of the above. So we move on now to summer action. Some of these things you're already in the midst of doing, so don't need to regurgitate much of this, but there you will find under number 1 links to all of those things that are more than appropriate to be working on any season, but particularly in the summer, particularly the petitioning part, since there are all those outdoor opportunities. But don't give up either, since 2023 is for the most part, local election year. So opportunities, as Deb has done, to reach out to local organizations to seek endorsements and local municipalities to seek resolutions. Pledge to Amend also is specifically geared to local candidates running city, county, state, not so much federal this year, but you can reach out to them to try to get them. But a number of people at the Congress, some have already declared, since anymore, you've got to give yourself that amount of time to get your name out there if you're unknown, or to raise the boatload of money that's required to be viable. So you can certainly reach out to federal, but the emphasis, I would think, more than anything is local, from the actual municipal level to the state level. So again, linked in each of those areas are materials and resources and information about where things stand, as well as forms and templates to use. So please take full advantage of each and every one of those, in particular, those that most relate to what it is you're already doing, or opportunities that exist where you are. Under number 2, educational programs, materials, at the local level, to schedule a local program. If you would like some help in terms of having at least someone from national to help you put together a local program, if not, having a national person, phone in or Zoom in. Not everyone has to be on Zoom. You could have everyone, in your backyard, and have a computer or iPad or something set up where somebody from national could share something, if you have good audio out of that. So there's no single format for organizing an educational program. Again, it doesn't have to be formal. It can be more informal, whatever would work. We are organizing at the national level on June 29th. That is next week, Thursday, a program that's going to be focused on Stop the Corporatization of Cop City. One of the main organizers of some of the work. I mean, there's a lot of people that have done a lot of tremendous work, and those of you from Georgia certainly know that. But one of those individuals is Camus Franklin, who has been very much out in front in organizing some of the visible presence in Atlanta City Hall during the day and evening and late in the morning vote and prior to that, the presence and the direct action that took place. So he will be speaking on a program. We just firmed that up today. Watch for that in the next day or two. Please share far and wide. We want to have a big turnout for that. So that is a week from, what is today, Tuesday, week from Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And lastly is, if you haven't had an opportunity to read everything that is linked there, are basically website versions of blasts that went out that try again in different ways around those different issue areas, help our supporters get on the other side of the learning curve. And so feel free to read those for the first time or revisit them. And since they are on the web and have specific links, which are there, all you have to do is click on the document, go to the site, collect that link and share it. So feel free, as we say in that, feel free to share. We need to be our own media. We can't rely certainly on the corporate media and even the progressive media. They can focus and do focus on a lot of good issues, but they don't always focus as much as we think they should on these issues. So we've got to do that. And we have the ability to do that. And each of you can be, both educators, advocates, organizers, but also communicators. And so be a communicator, a journalist, if you will, by sharing those links far and wide. All right. Any questions or comments on any of this? All right. We go next to financing and fundraising, and want to begin by welcoming Katie Krasinski, who is our new fundraising coordinator. Katie has just been a joy to get to know, work with, and actually just sort of coincidental or not, we had our Move to Amend national team retreat in her home that she and her family vacated. And despite the vacating, and I'm not quite sure how much of a vacation it was to have all these people crammed into a smaller place, but she did that. And that is just a demonstration of the self-sacrifice she and her family did for the greater cause of Move to Amend. So very happy to welcome her, and just wondered, Katie, if you'd like a couple minutes to sort of share who you are and what you're up to and what you hope to accomplish.
Yes, I would. And I've been following Move to Amend for a long time, and I've been very impressed with the hard work and dedication. And after a week of pretty intense training, the behind the scenes is even more work and dedication than I had imagined. I'm impressed daily, and this meeting here is no exception. Thank you all so much for all the work that you do. When we had the one word that we had to pick out, mine's family. I have kids that that's why I'm here, doing this to give them a better world. And it can be overwhelming at times, but then I see people like you guys in the streets making it happen. So thankful for you, and I'm going to work my butt off to keep it sustainable. Jenny happens to be a longtime friend, and she lives in the same area. We both have Gates for our representative. And not only are we going to focus on continuing the amazing work that's been set up and the process that we have in place, but brainstorming and get some new things going, reaching out to different organizations, getting youth involved. So it's exciting. And if you guys have any suggestions, please email me, call me. I'm open and ready to brainstorm with anybody. So I like your ideas just today about the graphics. Fantastic. I've been in this same place that you are, making our own signs, and it would be wonderful just to have a template just to have ready to go. So I really appreciate it.
Well,
thank you. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Katie. Just wondered if anyone had any questions or comments for Katie.
I'm an open book. Ask me anything.
Okay, well, if not, appreciate, we'll be hearing certainly much more from you as the days, weeks, and years proceed. But thank you for being on board and, as Sandy said, taking on this very important role. So with that, we'll get more into that important role. Jenny, do you want to sort of share where things are at the moment, fundraising finance wise?
Well, I just want to say that we could not be more thrilled, and it could not be at a more perfect time that we have a new fundraising coordinator. You know, we finished with our spring drive. We're finishing up our thank you calls from that, and looking forward to really implementing more ways to reach out to our grassroots network. And like Katie said, make our work sustainable financially, because our energy and our volunteers, they're on point, you know. So that's where we've identified that we really need to up our game so we can continue to grow and spread our wings. And just a little bit of update on our our bookkeeping. Barbara is coordinating with us out of Minnesota. Barbara Gerton, many of y'all know her. And she will be taking on that role on a monthly basis, on a volunteer monthly basis as well. So that's a huge savings for us, but a big blessing, because we all know how dedicated and passionate she is about the work, and how confident she is. We couldn't do better. So I'm really super excited about where we're going with what we call the FinFun groups, or the Fun Fin. We haven't decided, but it's going to be fun. And we are upping the game on that, because, you know, we do see where with other organizations that have watered down versions, they also have a lot of funding. And that's where Katie's going to be super helpful in raising that up. She's super talented. Like she said, I've known her for a long time. She is also an artist, creative, and at the same time, you know, not afraid to make the ask. So I'm just super hopeful about that whole prospect. Does anybody have any questions about where we're at on any of that, or? Okay, and as usual, if anybody wants to participate in the FinFun, just let me know and we'll loop you into those meetings. Thank you all.
Great. Thank you both, Katie and Jenny. All right, some upcoming events, Alfonso.
Yep. So at the national level, please help us spread the word about the new volunteer orientation call happening tomorrow, June 21st at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is designed to equip our tools and everything, the material that people need to know to hit the ground running and start advocating for the We the People amendment. This is an introductory orientation call. It's mainly intended for new volunteers, but seasoned MTA volunteers are welcome. So feel free to join us. I'll be sharing the link on the chat in a little bit. Also, Law and Research Committee are going to be meeting on July 12th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. And to join, you can email Greg. I will also be sharing that. That is all this information is in the agenda, but I will still share that in the chat in a minute. Also, the Ecology Network call is happening on Thursday, July 14 at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Lastly, on the national events, the Leader Caucus is going to be meeting on July 26th at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and you can also email Greg if you want to join and be a part of that. On the local state level events, we have the Florida Statewide Coalition happening on Thursday, June 22nd, this week at 7 p.m. local time. But if you have events coming up, please feel free to use our user submitted software by going to move2amend.org/calendar And there you can upload your events so that we can amplify those and more people can attend. But yeah, those are pretty much all the things happening this upcoming month. If I missed anything or you have anything going on in your affiliate, please let us know. Or yep.
Yeah, before taking any questions or comments, can you quickly put the link for the volunteer program in the chat?
Absolutely.
Or if you could put it even better in the agenda itself.
Yes, I will do that right now.
And so please, if any of you know of any potential, I know it's short notice, real short notice. We did send out a couple of blasts, but never too late. So feel free to share anyone who may be sort of a potential person who you would like to be sort of exposed to what Move to Amend is doing at a national level, and getting a taste of several volunteer opportunities that they can sort of get a little morsel of. So, okay, any questions or comments? All right, and so okay, so the volunteer orientation is being put here. So that is
It's at the top, Greg.
June. Oh, did I miss that? Okay.
I just added it, no worries.
Oh, you added it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
got it.
at the very top.
You put it at the top. Great. All right, thanks much. So there you have it, folks. Feel free to share. All right, I guess that brings us to the end. Our next call is July 18th, same time. Feel free to reach out between now and then with any questions or concerns or requests for information, help, and maybe in particular graphics. So we'll try to see what we can do between now and then. So again, please watch for items that will be coming your way in the very near future, in particular this notice about the June 29th event, as well as any and all comments and info and invitations to take part in lobbying your rep and in doing what you can where you are in spreading the word petition-wise, resolution, endorsement, and pledge to amend wise. So with that, appreciate that. Happy summer solstice tomorrow. It's an enigma to say it's the longest day of the year. Of course, it's not. It's just the lightest day of the year, and just barely. So let that light shine on all of you and to those we each come into contact with. So take care, everyone. Good being with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Thank
See
you.